Okay, so in order to crochet a single crochet, first you should hold your yarn firmly. This is how I like to hold my yarn. I put the working yarn string that's connecting to my yarn ball, put it between my ring finger and my pinky, wrap it around my pointy finger, and just hold my work with my thumb and my middle finger. So in order to work a single crochet, insert your hook into the next stitch, and your hook should wrap through both loops of the stitch like this. It looks something like a braid or a little V. So yarn over, pull yarn through the stitch. So you now have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull yarn through both loops on the hook, and you now have completed a single crochet. Let me redo the process again for you to see. Insert your hook inside the next stitch, yarn over, pull yarn through that stitch, yarn over and pull yarn through both loops on the hook. This is the most simplest stitch of all, and you need to master this in order to crochet an amigurumi, because the majority of stitches, like 95% of the stitches, you will use a single crochet. After crocheting a few single crochet stitches, they should look like these. For the next part, I'm going to show you how to make increases. So increased stitches will make your amigurumi bigger in size or in any shape that you want. Unincreased stitches needs 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, and now I will demonstrate. First, make 1 single crochet in the next stitch first. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull yarn through the stitch. You now have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull yarn through both loops on the hook, and you just completed 1 single crochet. Now we are going to crochet 1 more single crochet into that same stitch. So this is the stitch that we just crochet our single crochet in, and we just insert our hook into the same stitch. Pull the yarn tightly so that you would not create 2 loose stitch, and 1 more single crochet. Yarn over and pull yarn through that stitch, yarn over and pull yarn through both loops on the hook. So you should have an increase looking like a little V. These are your single crochet stitches, and you can see that they look like this, and this is an increase, and you can see that there are 2 stitches in 1 stitch. So because of making increases, your amigurumi pieces will expand, and the number of stitches at the end of the row will also increase. For example, if round 1 you have 6 stitches, after making an increase in each of the stitches, which means 6 increases, you should have 12 single crochet at the end of your second round. So let me demonstrate increases a few more for you guys to see. Insert your hook into the next stitch. You can see that the hook goes through both loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull the yarn through the stitch. You see that you have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull yarn through both loops. You just completed 1 single crochet, and now we will add 1 more into the same foot. Insert your hook into the same stitch. yarn over and pull the yarn through, yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops, and you have another increase. And you can see that there are 2 stitches into the same foot that we did, and an increase looks like a little V, and we just created 2 increases. Let me do it one more. Okay, so now I have finished demonstrating increases. So in this video I am going to show you how to crochet a decrease stitch in an amigurumi. Contrasting to an increase stitch, decrease stitches will make your amigurumi smaller, which means your circle, this is, for example, this is your full size circle, it will start to get smaller and smaller. So in the previous video I mentioned that an increase stitches has 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, and now we are going to combine 2 stitches into 1 stitch. Now let me demonstrate for you guys to see and understand more clearly. Okay, in order to make a decrease stitch, insert your hook into the next stitch. Make sure that your hook goes through both loops, and you can clearly see that there are 2 loops on the hook like this. Now yarn over, pull yarn through 1 stitch. You see that we now have 2 loops on the hook like this. Do not do anything further. We want to insert our hook into the next stitch. Yarn over and pull the yarn through the hook, and we see that we now have 3 loops on the hook, and you can clearly see that we just insert our hook and yarn over through 2 stitches right here. And now to finish off a decrease stitch, yarn over, pull the yarn through all of the loops on the hook, and we just finished a decrease stitch. You can see that 2 stitches kind of combine together and create just 1 stitch, and this is our decrease stitch right here. Compared with an increase stitch, this is an increase stitch, so we can see that there are 2 stitches in 1 foot right here, and now when we decrease, we combine the 2 stitches together. Let me do a few more times to demonstrate. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull the yarn through. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull the yarn through again. We now have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull the yarn through all the loops on the hook, and we just finished another decrease stitch. One more.
Okay, so now we finished crocheting the decrease stitches, and also we completed increase tutorial and single crochet tutorial. I hope you find this video helpful, and see you next time in my next video.